I want to talk about what we're going to be doing with dead bugs and what's different. So the thing that we're going to be working on, for the most part, majority of us, and I'm pretty sure we all are going to be doing heel drops, where I have us at level 1. The reason I'm having us do that is because I want you to learn how to progress through all the motions. What is the point of doing something difficult if there's other ways that we can do it to get the same training effect? So what I mean by that is when we go through our dead bugs, and again, it's a process, right? I want you to get the most out of this. So when we look at dead bugs, same thing, let's go from inside handles for right now. Progressions are outside handles. But what we want to do with those dead bugs is a heel drop with keeping my legs at 90, okay, and dropping my heel down. Now, why do I want you to work on heel drop when in the past we've done leg extension? Well, here's the thing. Going into a downward chop with a leg extension is going to be a lot harder to learn how to do, and making sure that you have the right mechanics. So what I want you to eventually work up to is this full dead bug extension. Even for myself, I get confused. But it's about learning how your body moves, and that's what our focus is now, is teaching you these things. So when we look at the progressions of your dead bug, you're going to begin with either that extension with that heel drop, or if we're past that point, we can now move into downward chop. Bring it back up, then alternate the leg, bring it down. If you do this properly, you will feel so much going on in your lower core that you won't need to think about having to go through these other progressions yet. So when we look at our dead bugs, if depends on the color belt, you might go into extension, rotation, or downward chopping. But just remember, all those dead bugs are going to be done with a heel drop. Does that make sense? That was a lot of information at 6 a.m.
So what was the first? Does the heel drop make sense? What was all the different motions?
Like different motions is just depends on the color belt. You might go into rotation, extension, or downward chopping. Okay. Does that make sense for the most part? Again, it's 6 a.m. There's a lot of shit going on. Again, if there's questions, just let me know. So we'll be doing 3 on each side when it comes to those dead bugs. As soon as we're done there, we're going to be working on hip rolls. So we're grabbing the USB again, keeping it tightly against you. From this position, all we're going to do, and this is going to be new, it's going to be different. In the past, with the kettlebell, I've had your eyes up, which is perfect and it makes sense. With the sandbag, I want us to get our neck involved. So when you're going through this, what I want you to do is your eyes are on your hand, your elbows up, roll, come back down. So again, my elbows up, I have my eyes on my hand, I drive, work my way back up. Now, you're going to do 3 on each side, and if you're like, hey, that's effortless, the next thing that you can progress into is that roll to post, okay? So those are the 2 progressions that we can work with on that get up. Again, we'll gradually start building back up. Afterwards, bird dogs. Again, make sure you're looking at what your color belt is with those bird dogs. We might be going into the lateral drag, which is that full bird dog with dragging to the side, slow and controlled. The other progressions, other variations we may have is you might just be holding the bag going through your bird dogs. You might be using a band. So press against the bag, make sure your press against your sheet to make sure you know where you're at. Then next, split squats. We might be with a TRX or we might be with a kettlebell. Either way, you're going to be starting from the bottom position, halfway up, back down, lock out. That's 1. It's 1.5 reps. Again, halfway up, back down, all the way through. 6 there. Lastly, single arm rows. The thing that you can work on there is you can start with that hand assisted. Otherwise, your hand moves away. So your hand's either going to be on your knee or away from you. You're going to row up, then lower that weight down. 1, 2, 3. Pull up. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I gave you so much information. I am so sorry. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get ourselves set up for dead bugs. So let's go. Make sure you're reading your your sheet to know where you're at there. We'll get ourselves set. And I'll figure out music.